There used to be a vintage shop in my old San Francisco neighborhood that kept a bin of ancient black and white studio portraits. Stiff Victorians and sly flappers, tintypes and cabinet cards, aunties and sweethearts, all heaped under a hand-lettered sign that announced, "Buy yourself some relatives." When patrons spotted it, there'd be a split second of bewilderment, then a burst of shocked laughter. Most moved on quickly, but a few would pick up the photos and gaze into them. The same questions always hung in the air. Who were these people? How were they forgotten? But then, if you peruse the documents of any past era, you find almost nothing but forgotten names. A famous name brings a jolt of recognition that in these crowds of nobodies, and once were somebodies, is a person that you can attach a face and a reputation to. The collector values those rare documents. But I always found myself wondering about the other people, the ones in the junk store photos. Buried in these footnotes of history are brilliant, fatally flawed thinkers who sometimes rose to dizzying heights, only to come crashing down into disaster, ridicule, or just the utter silence of oblivion. Occasionally I'd find others who shared my predilection for the ephemera of forgotten genius. In the early years of the Internet, I often found myself drawn to the Dead Media Project, devoted to the numerous experiments that died on the barbed wire of technological advance. The Edison kinetophone, Gaumant's chronophone, the synchronoscope, the movietone, phonofilm, the graphophonoscope, the vitaphone. The chroniclers of such innovations are all curators at heart, I suppose, of items that we fear no one else will have time for. Why write about such things, you may ask? And if it's not you, surely someone will ask this question. The man or woman of promise who has nothing but excuses and regrets to offer at the end of the day. These people, we do worse than despise. We avert our gaze and excuse ourselves from their presence. But for each person with a winning innovation to their credit, there are the losers who pursued a similar path to failure. Perhaps their timing was wrong. Maybe they lacked the ruthless force of personality that propels the winners of history. Sometimes they were simply undone by weaknesses that had little to do with the merits of their ideas. Or they truly were just plain wrong, but with a fervor as great as anyone who ever got it right. And so I began this book, an account of those who fell in their pursuits. Whole books could be unearthed on each of their lives, and I hope that happens someday. But for now, this small excavation may suffice.